Super chill. You know, it's funny. I was in like a huge meeting. I'm not gonna tell it. I'll tell you who it was with afterwards. And it was like big whole team meeting, and like everyone's there, and it's like kind of like super big name people, yada yada. The whole time I was building our monument. It's just like I'm on mute or whatever, and everyone was like, and I'm like, clicky. Anyway,
speaking of which, makes you look like you're super like serious.
I'm like, oh yeah, no, I got my resting serious bitchy face on. Apparently, that's the one time that who was it? What's his pickle from Boyd?
Gary?
No, not Gary. The other guy, Seth or somebody.
Seth, yeah.
Yeah. Seth messaged me like, dude, you need to smile more. I'm like, what is this? Am I being sexually harassed right now? Like, what are you talking about? Apparently, he thought I just wasn't smiling enough in a meeting that we were all in. I'm like, dude, sometimes I don't smile. I'm fucking serious, which nobody should believe. That's not really true.
Hey, anyway. You know who I talked to today?
Who did you talk to today?
A little bit. I talked to Adrian today a little bit.
Adrian
from Wombat.
Oh shit. I missed that guy.
Yeah.
How's he doing? He's doing like kid baby shit, right?
Yeah, apparently his baby's not so small anymore, so he wants to come back on, which is pretty cool.
I am excited about that. Well,
so I'm actually thinking maybe I haven't decided yet, but maybe for this week's roundtable, maybe we do like a crypto, like a EOSIO weekly like crypto gaming thing. That would be cool.
I mean, that doesn't make me mad.
Yeah, there's some good games out there.
So, do you think we're ever gonna be at the top of the list again with fucking MLB tops in there?
Okay, so I'm not really a fan of baseball.
Me neither, but everyone is. Oh, by the way, apparently a fan of ours, some awesome person in the community, emailed the CEO of Tops or one of their outreach people or whatever. I'm not really sure who it is. Some bigwig at Tops, and they're all up in my emails now.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so I'm not such a big fan of baseball just because I think like baseball cards are boring. Probably because I think baseball is boring. Like,
well, that's the thing, right? If you don't have any connection to the underlying, stuff, then none of it matters. It just, who cares? Don't tell Toss this, but I also don't care. What I do care about is that, we now have this interesting, instead of having baseball cards that are just going to hang out in your closet for a decade, very likely growing in value, which is super fun. It's going to be a thing where you can actually create your own gallery, create your own stuff with them, in the uplift. And I think that, in lots of different ways, people are going to be able to figure that out. So I think that's where it gets interesting to me. And obviously, a bunch of people who love NFTs, they're welcome in the uplift anytime.
Yeah, and I think it would be cool, like when they release other ones, like hockey or basketball, things like that.
Well, I think they already did. It's NBA Tops or NBA Top Shots. Sorry, not Tops.
Yeah,
I guess that's on like a closed system, hey?
Different chain, right?
That's interesting. Yeah, it's on Flow or something. And you can't even take your NFTs off there unless you get like KYC. You need like an anal probe to get your stuff off there, I think.
It's only a matter of time till you started making probe jokes too.
I mean, come on. Like, I don't know if we'll ever do probes again, but it was pretty funny. I still remember when we were trying to figure out what to call them, and Dennis was like, let's call them probes. And like a bunch of 13-year-old boys, grown-ass men, start snickering in the leadership chat. Like, yeah, probes. It's so bad, but so good at the same time.
I mean, it made a lot of sense. And it seems like the event went off mostly pretty good. Like, there was a couple things that were a little bit odd, but for the most part, I think a lot of people had fun. I mean,
yeah, it seemed all right. And again, like I think if we ever did it again, which is definitely not a foregone conclusion, we've learned a lot of really cool things. So, yeah, I am said the Flow blockchain is pretty secret. Not sure the tech behind that. Yeah, it's like a proprietary blockchain, and really, because they don't do kind of the open, guilds or block producers or things that we have on a lot of other chains. And, I think Binance Smart Chain is doing something kind of like that as well. Like they're not super public about it. And no one seems to give a shit. Because I don't know if you've heard, but Binance Smart Chain is blowing up hard.
Yeah, I think like that's the thing, right? We've been in this space for a couple of years, and everyone's talking about how decentralization is great. But to be honest, nobody really gives a shit about decentralization. They just want cool shit.
They want it to work, right?
It.
Like I agree, and I feel for the early adopters and early movers in the space, building off of Bitcoin and the promise of true decentralization, which is a joke now because Bitcoin is not decentralized really at all. There's like 3 companies that are mining the whole thing, more or less, right?
Right.
Which a lot of people don't really understand. And so it just got to the point where like the true, I think, killer app is not the decentralization. It's the fact that suddenly it got opened up so you could kind of do whatever you wanted. That's the real thing. And decentralization is supposed to make that bulletproof and protect you from governments that might want to come in and stop what you're doing. And I mean there's kind of an existential risk for most companies in this space, but there's so many now that you keep rocking and rolling, you keep doing good, and there's sort of rules and regs that are starting to get shaped around it or whatever, but we can still do almost anything that we want to do, and that's really kind of the whole thing. Can we have NFTs? Yep, cool. Like, I don't give a shit. Just, does it work? Does the number still go up? Number go up?
I always like the idea of decentralization just because you can manage your own stuff, but with that comes risk. But what I liked about it more, actually, what I like about blockchain personally more is the transparency and keeping people accountable. Because I'm pretty good at keeping myself accountable. It's the fucking people who, control the world that aren't being kept accountable, right? That's what I want to see on blockchain, right? And so like, I don't think like we're going to get there, but I mean, we might someday, but I think, you're right. As long as it works and the number is going to go up. I mean, even if it's not decentralized, the number is going to go up because, the number of fiat that's being printed is going up. So by default, the price of my shell game should go up potentially,
Yeah, we'll see. This is a good point. So I am said Binance has built trust for most, and I agree. That's actually a huge part of the discussion that we're having around a potential uplift token that I spent the last 48 hours thinking nonstop about.
Really, you're thinking about an uplift token? I don't know how I feel about that, but that's okay.
Let me talk to you afterwards.
Okay. Sure.
I know how you feel about it.
Okay.
There's only one way to feel about this.
Yeah, fair enough.
And it's real good.
We got 10 people here, and this is one of our shows that we don't announce. So I like it. Some of our closest friends are here. Dr. Udani, Bob. It's cool. So
I am kicking it. Yeah. Hopefully everybody got close to what they wanted to get with the probes. I actually used a couple. One was just to like pick a little spot next to rail. I actually had rail in between, like next to a corner in between me and Bullshipples. So I picked that up so we can like connect them. Suji, hello. Yeah, and then I picked up a 100 piece because I didn't have any 100 pieces, and I was like, that seemed cool, and it was connected to one of my rail as well.
Nice.
That's fun.
Yeah, I think I was in the Telegram this morning, before I got busy with my day, but it was all right. And I mean, yeah, again, shout out to all the great community members in the Telegram. So I mean, I'm hopefully going to jump on and do some interviewing, just 15, 20-minute spots, because there's some people who don't often get to tune into the show because they're on different parts of the world. And
hey, hold on. Dr. Unani, if you have probes and you don't use them by 8 p.m. tonight, they are dead. Let me repeat that. If you have probes and you don't use them by 8 p.m. tonight, they are dead. I'm going to say that one more time. If you have probes and you don't use them by 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, they are just collectible pieces of picture. That's it. You can't use them on different maps. Ever. Like, that's just a thing that's happening. And scene.
That's funny because we were just talking about that. I mean,
because that's the thing. Like, we may never do a probe event again, like ever, because it was a pain in the ass. Like just between you, me, and the fish, it was a pain in the ass. But yeah, Dr. United, send that to the pack trade in. You can even send. I have some singles that I I could trade too. So if you want to send me one at nb5.wham, you can. But yeah, just do a Tuttle. I think she's probably riding the shotgun on it anyway. So you're good. When access? That is a very good question. We need to mint all of the NFTs for that. I don't think we've done that yet. But yeah, like capital T Thune. I know we want to get you guys on that land before the Our Planet map opens. And it's looking like that Our Planet map is going to open like Wednesday, Thursday. So it's we need to get that done first. Like you guys need to get your land before anyone else gets theirs. Like that's sort of the rule that we set up. So there.
Yeah. And I think it'll be good, right? Like, because the pro people, they'll get in, they'll be able to start building. Then the next people will get in will be the random land people.
Hold on. No. Wait.
What do you mean?
Sorry. When you said random land, I thought London. That might be a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. So, for some reason, I thought when we did that thing last night, we were actually going to get the NFTs for it as like the guy who's supposed to be running this ship, and they, and that's all going to happen. So we have our spot claimed. That particular one is going to come to us. So they got all that stuff is figured out in the back end. But yeah, we're all just going to get the actual land NFTs at the same time.
Yeah,
once you have the NFT, it's going to be a passport. So.
There was a little bit of confusion there, right? Like, oh, my NFTs are gone. What happens? And I mean, like, fair enough. If your NFTs are gone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, I had that same question too, which is funny. Cost effective. That's awesome. Sue, I don't need to do anything with the random 3-pack, right? No, you don't. The only reason why people had to split those up is if they wanted to, use a probe and then claim land with that probe. So you can only claim land with a single. You can't claim it with a triple, which is why people were trading them in to get the 1x ones. So if it's just going to be random land and you didn't use a probe, then the 3-pack or the 10-pack, just leave them. You're not going to have to do anything with
those. I like this comment. This is funny.
Yeah, that seems to be the consensus. Yeah,
but that's the thing though. Like most of what we do here is something that's never been done before. So like some things that work out really cool, some things are inexperienced, some things are just like,
yep,
we probably shouldn't have done that. We're never going to do it again. Case in point, that the poster is looking very similar to land packs. Like apparently there's still people that like are confused, and like that's the thing. Like we're not trying to be jerks about it, but it does actually say right there on the poster. It
everywhere,
is a poster.
And we had to do that because the London land piece was so good. Yeah. That joke was so good. But yeah, that's for sure something we would never do again, right? Because that, even though it says poster, goddamn everywhere, people still confused. And now, there's been times when I'm like impulse buying some shit, so like I get that, right? And we need to be more careful as consumers. But I've gone out like that's a mistake that I might have made, and so I'm sensitive to it, and we'll we're learning in that regard. But I'll tell you, I was talking to Dr. United this morning. Because, stuff changed around, the pods at first when we just had this massive map and it was going to be massive forever. Yay. The pods were 250 and then like 55 50s, 2 rings of 50s around it. And we had to squash the maps down and that went away. So apparently, Dr. United didn't know about that until now. That was like 6 weeks ago, right? That was so long ago. That feels like a year ago. But so that a lot of stuff changes all the time and not everybody's getting up to speed all the time. And so I told Dr. United, and I'm going to explain to everybody here again, literally nothing is final until you have the NFTs in your hands.
Yeah.
Like that. And like everything is changing almost all the fucking time. Because we're building this on the fly, right? We're offering what certainty we can around the things that we can. But this is kind of an experiment. So as we build this stuff out, we're thinking things through as much as we possibly can. And then there's everything that we don't think of that's going to crop up sooner or later. So a lot of this is experimentation and iteration, which I love because that means we get to grow and get better really fucking fast. Like really fast.
So I will add one thing to that though. Like we're not just going to take your money and run. We don't know when you're going to get in the game. Like we don't know when these NFT land NFTs will be redeemed, things like that. Dates and that could change, but we're not the type of people that are just going to take your money and run because our faces. I mean, and
So we gotta do this again. So yeah, Dr. United thought they might be usable on another map like talked before. I've never said that. Like, I know I've never said that because we didn't know if we were ever going to do this again. So caution flag on that one. So if you hold on to this probe after 8 p.m. tonight, and again, the probes are available to be used until 8 p.m. tonight, Eastern Standard Time. That is like, I don't know, a long time from now, 11 hours from now. After that, you will not be able to use those probes for anything. I've said that 3 times on this show, 4 times now.
Yeah.
That's always been the case. That will always be the case for these probes. Period. You can use them right now. You go to enter.theupleft.world/landrush and use those probes right now if you want to. But if you don't use them right now for this map, they will never be usable again ever.
Yeah. And
period.
Yeah.
Oh, is the system down? Well, that's a totally different story, Dr. Gotti. Jesus. Watch, Flo's probably asleep too. Hey, Doc, like yelling at the poor Doc. He's like, no, the thing's down. Sorry, buddy. Just DM me everything, and we'll get it fixed after the show. I'll stop yelling at everyone now. Sorry.
I like it. No, I mean, I hope everyone uses all their probes. I really want everyone to use their probes because I'm going to keep one just because I think it's cool. I mean, it's out there, right? It's got no use case, but I'm going to keep it because it's cool. All right. So yeah, please, all of you, spend all yours. So I have the only one, and then like that will be worth something because that's really the only way that it's going to count. But this is the thing, right? NFTs are valued for what they're valued, and people have been asking this all day. And so I like, even if there is another probe event, it's not going to be these probes that are used. That would be a different set, right? So like, I think we tried really hard, and there were these questions in the Telegram. And going back to what you were saying, like we have actually a really big team, like a really big team of volunteers and a really big team of helpers, right? So again, go back to the website every time and don't, hold anyone to anything that you can't find in print on the site, right? And we've actually made a mistake or two on the site in print, and we caught it, but we came true to our word and we did what we said we were going to do in print, even though it was our mistake, right? So that's really the only thing that you can hold us to. We appreciate all your comments in the Telegram channel, but yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. And most people are being, congenial.
For sure. Yeah, but I mean, it does say the probe launch window closed. That needs to get fixed, like right now, because that's not how this is supposed to work. And that just might mean we have to. I'm gonna find out how many hours it was down and put those hours back on the clock.
Yeah, that I wasn't aware of that actually. But yeah, I mean, again, shout out to all the people, all the helpers in the Telegram, all the admins in the Telegram, and even some of the people in the Telegram that were helping other people all day. I mean, we really appreciate that, clarifying some things, teaching things what you learned. It's really good for us and me and everyone in there.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm such an idiot.
What did you know?
So I'm like lighting my channel up right now, and the probe event was yesterday. The claim event is today.
Yeah, that's what I don't know, dude, what you're talking about.
I don't have enough coffee. So I'm like, first I'm yelling at Doc, and then I'm yelling at Nick. I'm fucking yelling at everyone. I just need to chill the fuck out. So yeah, Doc, you missed the probe event by like a day. So like DM me, you missed that. For fuck's sake, pay more attention.
I seriously
like that, all that, and this is the thing, like all that stuff was in the announcements, all that stuff was on the blog, all that stuff was in the Telegram, the announcements in Discord. So like we're getting better at the communication because we have to, right? Because like there's was so many new things. Sometimes Discord wasn't getting it, but like that, everything has been on the blog and on the website for like a week and a half. So
I should have caught that because we were talking about this like this morning, before the show, and then I was just like, meh.
Yeah, so what is this guy? You should just like mute me if I start.
Well, no, I mean, I thought maybe I was wrong. I was like, I
was totally just misunderstanding shit all morning. That's my game plan today. I'm just gonna like bump my head into brick walls.
I thought that was 8 o'clock. No, the time was right, but I was like, I thought that was 8 o'clock morning my time.
Yeah, Doc, you're killing me, dude. You're fucking killing me. And I mean, and I just went right along with it. Like, I'm just trying to help. I'm like, no, that can't be right. I'm like, yeah, except I'm off by a whole day. Okay, so anyway, let's do some fucking gratitudes.
Yeah, we can do that.
Right? Oh man. Yeah, so I'm really excited about the blog now for sure.
The blog on the website.
Yeah, because like that's where all the information has to go. So what do you?
Yeah, well, and I've been putting a bunch of stuff up, and it's getting really interesting now that we have more than one writer.
Right.
Which is
yeah,
really
no,
cool.
that's I like that because that's gonna be good. So I am said their respawn and lawn isn't working. I'm assuming like your bed. I don't know why that wouldn't be working. Now that said, we're doing some work with separating the servers out this week. So if there's any issues, let us know. It's also true. Yeah. Good luck with that. I've given you enough today. Only about 3 times more, or what, like 2 times more than you asked for. So, yeah, don't ask for any more shit today, please. So, what the fuck was I talking about before I saw another comment?
Spawn.
I'm just gonna start twitching at some point.
The respawn wasn't working.
Yeah, so that might have something to do with the work that's getting done on the servers. We're upgrading them still so that we can upgrade them 10x more, which is a whole thing that's going on. But we're also going to have a support system pretty soon, so that anytime you have a problem like that, you're going to be able to actually engage our technical support system and use that. So, and that's something else that we're trying to build up and get to the point where it's 10 times bigger than we need it to be. Pretty soon, we're going to be 10 times bigger than we are. So that's a whole thing. Yep. All right. Speaking of which, yeah, I am. I don't know what's going on there, buddy. I mean, I don't even know what's going on with the fucking pro event, so I don't know why you're. Shouldn't ask me anything today. Tomorrow, I might have good answers. Today, maybe not.
Well, I mean, and I guess the question is, has it ever worked? If it worked before and nothing changed, then it's probably just a glitch on our end, which will get fixed. If it's never worked, then maybe you need to lay down in the bed and go to sleep, because I found that out the hard way.
Right? That makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah. Sorry. I actually, and it's funny because I actually got a little bit. Let's just put it this way. So for all the community members out there who love me, I love you too. But I'm just gonna say it. Like, if you're on my bad side, you're probably doing something wrong, because I'm the most patient guy on the team. So just put that out there to the general ether out there.
I didn't think that, but how you dealt with some of the griefer nonsense in the last couple of days, I was like, no, he really is the most patient guy on the team. Yeah, and God help you if you cross me. And not even, and it's not even crossing me. If you cross me and it only has to do with me, I'm super easygoing. If you cross this family that we're building together, or the community, or the program, or the project itself, I'll fucking end you. That's how that's gonna go. And everyone else on the team is going to end up being way nicer than me. So if it gets to me that you're doing things that are messing with the entire game, or that my nephew Leon might come across, and that might impact him in any way, I'll crush everything you're doing in the game to the ground. I just that's what's going to happen. And it's a PG-13 server. We're just going to enforce it. But everyone else is going to be super nice about it. And I'm not even sure that's the right way to go.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I was nice. I was patient, because I wasn't actually going to bring up the actual situation, and we won't go that deeply into it. But I was nice and I was patient. But the minute you start messing around with people's emotions and things like that, that's it. So and just to let you know, I'm super nice and super patient, and if you lose me, pretty much everyone on the team, on the team is gonna fuck you up.
We'll be all standing behind Jimmy with baseball bats. So good luck with that.
But I do want to say this as well. All the people who are here in the show, most of you are great. We love you. You're here. You're tuned in. It's not you people. Most of the people on the Telegram are great.
99.9%.
Yeah,
the number of it's been less than a 0.5% of people that have been, probably even less, right? Out of almost 2,000, there's been less than 5 people total that we've been what? Do you really want to be promoting that? places? Like, is that I just try to be myself? Yeah, but if you're promoting fucking dead kids, you could fuck off. Like, that's where you can go. You can fuck off.
Right. Oh, yeah. And I mean, well, it wasn't even that. There was a story behind that wasn't necessarily true. But what I'm saying to you is the people who are out there in the Telegram channel, the people who are out there watching, I mean, if there's people that are screwing around and making those Telegram channels not fun for you, please tell us. Like,
oh, yeah.
Thing, right? Like, we want to know, right? Like, we really want to, we want everyone to have a good time. That this is like, we're a family, but you're also our family. The reason that we do this every day, the reason that we get to come in here and have fun and have a life of play is because of you people who are in here in the game. Awesome.
Absolutely. It's so important. Like, the culture that we're building is kind of everything, right? And when, 1,885 people out of 1,900 are just like totally going, yes, that's the world we want to step into. And people are coming in and be like, no, we should also be allowed to be dicks. Like, well, the internet is very big. You could go anywhere else and do that.
And it's funny because one of the first conversations I ever had with you, actually, I think on air in our EOSIO, weekly updates, like when we first started way back, was about censorship, and that's like this is one of the things that we're having to deal with.
You should have heard I was doing a Clubhouse once, and somebody was asking, about like, oh, what about like anti-censorship? And I'm like, I don't care about anti-censorship. I don't. Because like all these companies are having to deal with this in their own way, and you can see what happens. Like if you build a place that specifically says we're never going to censor anything, that's where every shithead on earth goes. Like it turns into a giant clusterfuck of gross. Like that's just, we know this already, right? So what I would like to, my position is we use editorial control at any time we have any corner of the internet that's under our control. Like that means you guys do. And I know like a lot of you guys probably do this anyway. It just means we get to design the culture ourselves and make those rule sets or whatever, and do that. And it's not censorship. Like censorship is explicitly with the government, right? We have to decide what we want to platform, and that should be a very intentional and very conscious decision, right? And that's one of the things that we've been doing with this Telegram channel. Anyway, so I just wanted to shout Zany Talks out. So the Claim event today ends at 8 p.m. Not the Probe event, the Claim event. That's my fault. Sorry. Then after, will the random land happen? Yes. Now, I don't know exactly when that's going to happen, and I'll find that out and maybe be able to answer that tomorrow on the show. But like, it's got to be this week, so that's the whole thing. Cost Festive, can I ask what happened with the Our Planet Ether timeline for your 5 million? You mentioned there was no timeline, then it jumped to Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, the reason why I said there's no timeline is that once that contract is live, I don't know that there will be a timeline to turn it off until like the map is full, right? So there's 5,000 land pieces out there. I know there's goobers that are leaving them in packs, but it's that to me is insane. Those things are mining a token that's going to be worth something like every minute. Like leaving them in a pack means you're not earning that. Whatever, fine. But there's 5,000 of those land pieces. There's 5,000 pieces of land. So that that contract to do that 5 million upgrade to turn the Our Planet NFT into the Our Planet Plus Uplift NFT is going to last like as long as it kind of needs to last, right? There might be a reason like a year from now that we have to turn it off for some reason, but like it's not soon in any way, shape, or form. Like once that thing is live, so you'll be able to like save up 5 million if you need to then do that if you want to do it that way.
Yeah, because I think it's going to take some people some time, right? Like
I think so too.
In space, so it's not it's not a whale game. It's and like there'll be people that never do it, and there'll be people that want to do it, and we can't expect.
Yeah. Oh, I made the whitelist for the Our Planet Lancet too. I'm excited.
I didn't check actually. I don't know.
Yeah, it's on the list. Have you ever done the generator thing and like made some stuff?
Yep, but I don't think I'm up there in the top. But that's
cool. Well, I only made 15 and got in.
Oh, I'll check.
That was on one account. On another account, I made hundreds. I did the time thing. Did I tell you about that? This is actually something I want to do because like I've been just like stacking all my Aether, but it doesn't make any sense. Like I need to budget like minting a really, really high end piece, like maybe every month. We should do that on here. That like process took about a half hour. Because there's a generator that apparently somebody in their community made that makes all the things 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 that gets you to the thing and has all the recipes and all that crazy shit, right? It's a bunch of technical terms. So it takes a while. So yeah, I minted time. I was the first one to mint time. I got the mint number 1 on it. I was pretty excited. Yeah. But I don't know. Did you see that video where they were minting one of the newer ones and they got like a mythic of it? Things worth fucking $5,000.
Wow.
And you just get a pack, right? When you mint it, you get a pack, and that pack pops out, and you get various NFTs in it. And I'm gonna budget now enough to do one of the very biggest ones once a month on this show.
Mm-hmm.
And I did one that cost like 6 million Aether, and apparently Upliftium's going to cost like 25 million Aether.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah,
and when that comes out,
makes our land upgrade for 5 million
look a little better, right? Yeah, exactly. It's interesting. Anyway, so this is the top of our new digs. We're gonna have trees up here too.
I like it.
I don't know if I showed you this.
No, I haven't seen it since the trees have grown. Actually,
Oh man, yeah, it looks really cool.
It sounds like a really long time, but it's only been like a day and a half. Trees in Minecraft go really quick.
They do grow really fast. So yeah, and then we can go down here and stuff. Yeah, I really like how this turned out. Jen actually came by and like gave us a bunch of hello, Rody Muffin. Gave us a bunch of
flowers, nice
things. Yeah, I'm probably not going to walk all the way down because it's going to be really long. But yeah, so this is the thing. There's going to be gratitude monuments all around here, Jimmy. Like all nice. Probably on the outside actually, because I don't want to obscure the view of the forest that's kind of growing up in here. Yeah, so much better than that dorky little building that I started with. Right? Like this is going to scale.
Yeah, and I mean, like it's perfect design too, because when it rains, it funnels all the rain like from the wide area into the base where all the roots are. So it's perfect.
Yeah, that's totally how this works. It's not, but it sounds really good. Anyway, guys, I would love to put some of your gratitudes up from the show, from the comments. I mean, so if you have any, please let me know. Hey, Dr. Unani, for the love of God, those probes are now useless. I'm sorry, buddy. We're like just no. Now, granted, when we rebalance our portfolio, there's a possibility that probes might earn Aether, but that could be 10 years from now. I don't know when we're going to get a chance to rebalance that, so I can't make any promises right there. I am, while I've been busting his balls pretty consistently today, and also screwing myself up at the same time, I'm really grateful for Dr. Unani. He's doing amazing things with the Discord. Them and the team have done really amazing things with the Discordia plot in Genesis, and they're actually going to be booting up their own map that's going to be Discord group focused. And I know what the name is. Dr. Unani, can we tell them what the name is going to be? But we're like booting that map out here pretty soon. Oh, damn it. Got timed out.
It's interesting because I was thinking about this, the last 3 or 4 days, because I don't always spend very much time in Telegram, but the last 4 or 5 days, I have been spending a lot of time in Telegram and on Twitter and answering people's questions as much as I can, when other people are asleep. And I was thinking about it and I was like, I'm just in Telegram. And it's been a while since I've heard, much from Dr. Unani and like, yeah, I mean, he's running that whole Discord group. So like, good on you, Dr. Unani. I think that's really important.
I have to reboot this. Anyway, I am though really grateful for you, buddy. You're really cool. And that map, Dr. Unani, let me know if I can give them the name. It's one of my favorite. Like it's as good as London.
Really?
Like yeah. And they've got some amazing people lined up already for that map. And a few others besides. So I think it's going to be really cool.
Discordia has a great build in there, right?
Yeah, and I mean they're gonna have more too. I think we're gonna get them some an ocean plot in Gratitude, so they can kind of have an embassy there, which I kind of like. I sort of like that idea, and of course they'll have one close to Sman, like right next to Sman in this new map as well. Will weather be turned back on? That's a good question. I suppose we kind of need rain for stuff, huh? Although, like, has that been the case? Have people been like figuring out how to do that stuff?
Well, I haven't noticed any problem in the Gratitude. I haven't been in the other ones, so I don't know recently what's happening. But my trees grew, and like most of my trees grew that I planted, the last couple of days in gratitude. So.
All right.
Yeah, Stu, thanks. I know that you guys are having issues sometimes with what's happening. Let's change that cover image, but that's okay. The issues with sometimes what's happening. So thanks for being patient with me and the rest of the team while we suss through things. I don't like being trigger happy without a reason. Mostly because I want I want people to understand that we're being reasonable, and I think it's very important that we are reasonable. So thank you for understanding, and thank you also for your support too.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing too. Like Ginny, I've been and we still need to work on this, so I can't promise anything at this time, but I think there's a way to stop fire spread. And I don't know if that applies to Lightning, but that's something that we're looking at from the server side. Sue, I'm grateful concerns got addressed.
Sorry, just 1 second.
Yep. I think Nani had one up there too. Yeah, I am. I'm grateful that the probe event is done. I think our whole team is on that same boat here. Somebody was talking about when they can claim their random land. I mean, that random land is just going to airdrop to everybody, I think, for sure. We that's why we use the snapshot. So. But that needs to happen this week, so it'll be sometime this week. What about you, Jimmy?
Yeah, so COVID stuff is happening here. They're kind of going into a deep lockdown. Most places are closing. Again. And I'm kind of I'm excited actually because I had an interview booked with Jen on Tuesday or Monday, I guess, Eastern Standard Time, but next week to go on and do the interview. And she asked Yoshi when Yoshi wanted to come on the show, and Yoshi's comment was like, "I'll come on anytime, but can Kansai Crypto come with me?" and then he said that he just likes having the interview with me because like I make him really calm, and with such a powerhouse like Yoshi to say something like that, I've only known him a short time. We've had him on the channel, we've talked, like it kind of really meant the world to me. And so I'm grateful for Yoshi and just his composure and everything he brings to the space. He's one of the most amazing people I've ever met, and I don't know what I ever did to deserve a friend like that. But like, it's awesome. I'm really grateful for Yoshi, to be honest. He's just a really stand-up guy. He does a lot for the world, a lot for the space.
It's true. He's constantly thinking about how to help other people. Like that's literally like, I think that's all he thinks about.
I think, yeah. So, but yeah, so if you're around, please tune into this channel. I kind of forget the time. I think I'll tell you Monday, but Jen, Yoshi, and I will be doing an interview on this channel on Monday evening, I believe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. And if you haven't checked it out, go back and watch Corey's interview. Corey's interview is up on the blog, and also Kawamoto's interview is up on the blog as well. So definitely go check those out. Really good interviews. And even if you watch those interviews on YouTube, go over to the blog and check it out, because Jen has a really unique, interesting way of writing them up as well, which is, very unique and very cool. So the more times you guys go over and check those things out, the better our rankings get. The more people see us, the more valuable your land becomes. Essentially, I mean, that's how.
That's a non-trivial equation. By the way, you hit the table approximately 15 times in that last two sentences.
I get excited.
I know. I just letting you know.
When I get nervous, I'll put it on this side there.
Don't get nervous. You shouldn't get nervous. You're too much of a badass to get nervous.
Yeah, that's funny.
In my humble opinion.
So I have a friend. It's funny because I have a friend who I haven't seen in a really long time, and he became my friend because like we almost got in a fight. And this guy is like. This guy like is a true badass, right? Like this guy, he's an older guy, but he was like the first like national like I don't know junior karate champion of like Japan or something like that.
And that's nuts. The guy you want to get into a fight with? Good job.
But anyway, another mutual friend of ours went to see him, and you know I remember one time I was out and about and somebody annoyed me and like I rarely do this, but I ended up talking to the dude outside and finally, the guy just kind of smoothed it over. And I went back upstairs and this dude was just standing there in the stairwell with his arms crossed. And I'm like, hey, man, what are you doing? He's like, well, you see over there, that window, that glass, like, I'm pretty sure you can handle yourself, but I'm just going to stand here and watch and make sure that you don't get in trouble because I can be down those stairs in 3.5 seconds. I was like, this guy's awesome. So anyway, I saw him the other day and that's what he said. He just said, oh, I miss Jimmy. Jimmy's like a badass. And I'm like, I'm not. Like, I'm like a little teddy bear, but I kind of like that people think I'm a badass. So yeah, thanks for that.
All right. I mean, I didn't know you were pulling ninja duty. That's kind of fun.
I wasn't. Somebody offended somebody offended somebody that I really like, and I don't like when people that I really like.
You just went Canadian on his ass. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, totally went Canadian. So yeah, do you want to go? Let's do the roundup thingy.
All right, sounds good. Here, let me go
and talk about next week because next week I think it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, you've been lining up some stuff.
Likewise, have you actually? Well, this is getting to be a pretty good balance up, to be honest. So.
Indeed. I do want to say Sue or Jenny was just saying Sue has an interview scheduled as well, which I really love. I love that Jen's just been going to everybody in the space. And of course she'll be interviewing all of the projects that are working with us and stuff. Just sort of introducing everyone to sort of our extended family, which I really like. I'm also hoping that everyone who does a show on this channel gets gratitude up on the monument every day. Like every time they come in. Not every day, but like every time they do a show. That would be that's sort of my vision for it is to just be that like everybody's stuff. And that's how we get to the sky, in my humble opinion. Well, and because math. All right, so stop the screening thing. Start the screening thing. Boom. All right. Man, yeah, so much stuff now. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a network for sure.
Right? Like, yeah, this is different. So this is 6 days ago. This is our last weekly roundup. Obviously, the thing, we got a lot more stuff on there now. Hello. All right, so using map to target probes for uplift probe event, which is not the same as the claim event. Corey, you fucking clown.
Was a great video.
Man, I suck.
And Greg did a great job.
He did. This thing where me and Tuttle make demo videos, like selfishly, I want to do more of them because she's one of my favorite people on earth. It's just like crazy smart lady. Monday morning and chill.
Well, just a minute though. I like the fact that you guys released those around the same time and two topics that like different people were kind of experts on. So I thought that was really cool. I hope for future events we do that. Yeah, no,
I think so. I think so too. We just we need to have videos up for like this is what it's like gonna look like. Just because I think reducing the apprehension is smart. So yeah, there's 10 hours left for claims. For claims, Jimmy. You know how many hours left for the probe event? 0 hours.
Minus
14. Wow. Anyway,
that 10 is right.
Yeah, exactly. Something to that general effect. So yeah, building over brunch. Just Brad.
You missed Monday. What are we doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. Monday? Yeah, Monday and chill. Like we just like it used to be BP and chill, and I kind of like Monday morning and chilled. It's just like, hey, what are you guys doing? Just drinking coffee with Jimmy. Hanging out.
It was all right, and to ease Lisa Chandler's concerns that there was dead screen time with no one talking, which I actually quite liked. To be
Yeah,
honest.
no, that's a feature, not a bug for me. Like I couldn't care less about that.
But we do get it. The next 2 weeks, we've got something cool lined up. So actually, the first half hour we'll have a project on, and then the last half hour we're going to go build on their land. So that's going to be cool.
Right. Some channels and playlists would be helpful here. That's a really good idea. Karamazov 65.
I actually was going to set those up, but I haven't got around to it yet.
Yeah, because like each show, like our show would have its own like playlist. Jen's new thing would have its own playlist. Like details about the uplift would have its own playlist.
That's really slow to internet there, Dr. Yanani.
Yeah, man, that's like delayed. It's like, hey Jimmy, how you doing?
You're awesome. We love you, Dr. Yanani. It's good.
I'm good, Corey. How are you? Sorry.
So what's the name of the new Discord thing? I mean, he threw it out there. I want to know now.
It's Thune.
That's good. All right, fair enough. I would have never guessed that.
Right?
That's good. Really
when he told me that, I was like, of course. That's really fun. So Drain Stream.
I love it because somebody pissed me off today, and I was actually going to suggest that we just open that up to the community and let everyone go in and just mine it to the server floor and back. But it doesn't work logistically. But like that's
yeah, no, we do have some ideas. So how do you guys look forward to the point when all the stuff is mined from the plots? Let's say all diamonds are gone. Are you just going to open a new server with new land? Okay, there's a lot of maps coming. So that's going to be a thing, and that's going to be a very interesting thing for the economics, right? Some people are going to be mining things out for whatever, and that ultimately, before too long, we'll have the economics plugin set in. That's going to be, I mean, if we find someone who's an expert at it, it'll be sooner. But I think right now it's probably a few months away before we can get the full economics plugin going. And this is the thing: you guys can help me if you know anybody who can, or find someone aggressively, go yank them in who is an expert on or who has built an economics plugin. I will pay them like good money to help us integrate that sooner. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit longer for us to get on that.
And one other thing on that as well, it's going to be really hard to strip all of the plot with all of the resources. However,
you can mine the diamonds out of that pretty fast.
Yeah. But however, even when you do that, right? Like it's not contained to that server, right? Like if you go from London and you teleport, into Gratitude. You get to keep your stuff. You can teleport your stuff across. You just can't teleport it from a survival world to a creative world. Like you can teleport it across from a survival world to a survival world, right?
Right, and there's definitely going to be opportunities to like if mining is going to be your thing, right? And you get a little piece, and you're like, that mining was the most fun. I want to do that. Selling that piece and going out and getting new stuff from new maps, like because I assure you, there is going to be a number of maps coming that will be survival maps that you'll be able to buy land in within the next 90 days. So yeah, as far as that's concerned, like flipping your land to go and grab other stuff is going to be a thing. And then it's going to be important for people to I'm going to predict this right now, Jimmy. There will be a surveyor company that you can pay I don't know, $20 or something or whatever for them to go and take a look at a piece of land to tell you if it's mined out or not.
That's awesome. I was just thinking that, and it'd be cool.
We're not going to do that. And if you buy a piece of land and it's mined out, that's on you. Like you need to check that shit out. If that's what's important to you, you need to go there. You need to look at it, right? Because we definitely don't have the bandwidth to kind of tell people that right now. So yeah, I think that would be, if you wanted to be a very enterprising person, start planning for that now. Because I think there might end up being a fair amount of demand for it, for the people that are just genuinely just interested in mining, right? So people are going to be interested in different things. But that is a very interesting possibility for a year from now. That's going to be a job people have, which is what? But yep. Anyway, so where were we? Monday and Chill. All right, building over brunch. Brad the Third or Brad the Builder. I prefer Brad the Builder. And Greg, got together over brunch and just built some stuff and had some fun. And I love seeing that. I want to see way more Brad on this channel. Tech Talk on a Tuesday. This one was huge.
Yeah, it was fun. It was short. It was sweet, which is like near. It's almost an impossible feat with Bonds, me and you on the same stream to be short and sweet, but it went over really well. And we're actually going to have Bonds back next week as well to talk more about our planet stuff.
Yeah, we need to. There's so much new stuff there that it's going to be fun. And maybe when we do that, it hurts. I'll spend more ether and build something. I'm telling you, like, it's painful, man. Because like I'm trying to stack it as much as I possibly can in my like little personal account. But you do what you can. I'm just looking at Alcor right now.
If you get like the $5,000 NFT, does that mean like I'm like the cutie at the roulette table in Vegas that you have to take with me every time you
yes. Okay. Yes. For real. Like if that happens, like I'm gonna get some dice and have you blow on them. Like it's gonna get awkward. Oh shit, that's funny. Okay, so in the like top page, I wonder how much this is. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in the top 12 volume on Alcor, Aether and Aether pairs and our planet stuff is half of them, right? Waxon, Ethereum, Capone, whatever the hell that is, Weekend, Aether Weekend, Aether Wax, Trillium Wax, sorry, not Trillium Wax, Waxon and Aether and Trillium and Aether are some of the biggest pairs, which is incredible. So that's fun. Yeah, they're crushing it. Anyway, so I'm excited to chat with them again, and I'll just commit to that right now. Like whatever is one of the top hardest things to get, I will mint one of them live, and it'll take like a half hour. It takes a long time, but we'll do that. As far as like, let me see this. Oh shit! Aether is breaking out. That's not a try. That's a breakout there, kids. Oh yeah! Remember when I said that I think that the Aether might go to 0.01 wax, and that would be completely fucking bananas?
Yeah.
Let me just say for the record right now, that's not crazy. Like it might literally go to 0.01 wax. Just do the math on your little Aether stashes then. Now, is this Jimmy? Hold on. This is a cadaver. I have a cadaver to say right now about this, or a caveat. A caveat. What's the weirdest way you can say caveat?
Yeah, I think I've weirded them all out already.
You have. It's basically you're just like turnip. Like that's I guess far away from. Sure. Obviously this isn't financial advice, and it's not, because some people started messaging me because I talk pretty openly about this stuff. Like, hey, what should I do next? I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
And don't put it on me, because that's what people do. They want to like offshore the thinking, and then they offshore eventually they offshore what they see as the responsibility. I'm not responsible for your stuff. You guys know that. I just want to, if you're talking to anyone about it, we're all having like really, really fun conversations about this stuff, but you have to do your own research. That's not something people say. That's something that is real. You need to understand the risk dynamics of all this before you pull the trigger on anything at all, or just play with money that you don't give a shit about. Right? That's the other way to do it. Then you can come in and you can make the mistakes and not feel bad about it, not get weird about it, and have fun with this whole experience. Anyway, I'm like ranting.
And I mean, if you're gonna ask Corey for it, don't go over to Crown's Crypto Cave. Ask him and make sure you alert me so that I can watch, because he's gonna give you the ass beating of a lifetime, and he's one of the best traders out there.
Yeah,
but like that's like,
right.
Like he's like, stop asking me what you should do with your money.
That's the thing. You just don't. Like, it's tough, right?
And I get it, right? Like you look up to certain people and you want to see what we think. But here's the thing, right? Like we're okay. So
I love sharing about it too. Like I obviously get really excited about this stuff, and I mean, all you really need to do is like watch every episode of this, and you'll understand why I believe that Aether will be priced higher in a week and a half than it is now. There's some really simple supply and demand economics that are getting applied to that situation. But that said, at any time, Nazar could launch a whole other pile of mining rigs to balance the system, right? They are under complete control of the amount of Aether that's coming out over time adding new projects, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? The amount of Aether that's coming online because of new mining gear that and that's always good too, right? Because then like more people get it. There's like a bigger ecosystem. They're kind of adding more capacity as they add more people. I'll tell you right now, Nazar is a fucking genius. Like talking to this guy, and like he's like got a really like he like learned English to start talking to Bonds and me, I think, like 5 minutes ago. So his English isn't great, but my Ukrainian sucks. So it's really helpful, right? But like it's he's applying. Remember when we were playing Prospectors? He's the game designer that built Prospectors that has like 900 million combinations in it or some ridiculous. Like I'm making that number up, but like it's a very complex game. And so I could see that he's mapping slowly onto this Our Planet ecosystem, that same kind of supply and demand economics. And I'm excited about that because like, and it was going to be amazing before I was like, hey, you want to turn those land NFTs into land NFTs? Right. So that's why I'm excited about it, because more people are going to need more Aether to do more cool things. And that's just, basic supply and demand economics.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? How many cryptos are out there that have zero use cases and the price is going up? How long is that going to happen? I don't know, but I'm guessing not forever.
Right. And that's the thing. All this, I like Aether's so good. I'm assuming it's going to die. And I have no reason to even think that. It's just like, it's like you own a Bitcoin mine in 2011 and it's printing money and you're like, this can't be real. Like this can't even remotely be real. And here we are 10 years later and it's pretty real. So yeah,
but I mean, for all the people who are complaining about like Wax not being recognized in the space, like here's the caveat. Here's the thing, right? Like that's the cadaver in the mind of all of these other people who don't know what Wax is and what these projects are doing over in the EOSIO space. When they find out that, like, that's it, right? You're holding. I don't know. You're holding a server for Bitcoin before Bitcoin was even created, essentially, right? Like I don't know how to explain it, but like that's the thing, right? Like I honestly, in my heart of hearts, believe that EOSIO and Wax will play a really big role, as well as Ultra too. It will play a really big role. Like I could be wrong. I mean, there was a couple projects that were on the Neo chain that I thought were brilliant. They were looking into AI. I mean, they botched their funding. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Am I going to go down with the ship? Well, I'm a New York Jets fan, so probably.
Yeah. So I am nailed it. Let Wax stay under the radar. I love the dip. So like looking at it this way, like all the projects that gain the, like get on the hype train, and just blow up like crazy based on like nothing but hype in a lot of cases, right? Great for the people that are making money there, right? At the end of the day, those price discovery will mean those things are going to come back down to what their actual use case is, and if they don't have a use case, that will be close to zero, right? And Wax is adding brand after brand after brand after brand after brand. Like there's no hype on the Wax train except for like me and a few of us that are like, no, seriously, if you're adding every major brand on earth, the price will go up. Because again, that's just going to be supply and demand economics, right? And people want to go on Binance, whatever. I'm with IM. Wait as long as you can.
I'm with Gary.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's such a good idea.
Yeah, I am totally with Gary.
I can't claim any land there though. Okay. I can't claim any land.
But
I have some though, and that's where we could build it.
But you know where we could do it? You could do it in Genesis. You could do it. You could do it on the spawn, because that land's always free. So you could have.
That's true. We are annexing some land on the spawn. That's a really good idea, and we should for sure do it. I am very excited about this.
Yeah.
Yes, Gary, it's mine. I'm taking heat for. Well, I mean, I'm just being super stupid today too. At least one point. So yeah, it's definitely my fault. No, but
I mean, after the great probing, you sometimes just have to.
Anyway, so how are we going to trade our resources in the uplift? There are multiple different kinds of economic plugins. that are being used in the Minecraft space. We are studying that right now. We are talking about launching our own token right now. So there's going to be maps where the economic plugin is going to be using Aether, like Swineland and whatever the next one. I forgot. They announced the name, but I don't know what it is, right? So that you'll have the Our Planet Federation of Planets that will be on its own economic system. And then Uplift focused planets are probably going to have the Uplift token. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That will be focused on that. And again, like, so we've it's been done before, so we know this can happen. Like, you'll be able to go into a shop and buy and sell stuff for our token and for various cryptocurrencies depending on the place you're at. Because we've been talking about using Matic on the Polygon chain. That's the thing. We're having really good conversations with different blockchains now about starting planets on their systems. And of course, our native Uplift token that looks like it's going to get approved pretty soon. We'll be able to bounce around those with P tokens and swaps and different things. But I think for the economic plugins themselves, there's always going to be the possibility that they might actually want their own token. So anyway, so yeah, that part and give us a lot of time for that, right? Because we're not 100% sure what we can do. Isn't Shipple the Uplift token? No, Shipple is not the Uplift token. Although I'll tell you, like, that was my sort of original idea. And there was some talk around that. But at the end of the day, like, we want to make sure, because that one, like, I just kind of launched that one myself in my basement and then, right? Like, when we launch a token, we're going to be spending an exorbitant amount of money on a legal opinion. Like, we need to make sure that it's bulletproof, because of course the Uplift is going to be a very large company. It's attached to Legend, which is going to be a very large company. So we need to make sure that our shit is buttoned up real tight, as far as, like, being super compliant and on the right side of all the regulations. So
it's a glass table, but I'm going to knock on wood anyway. How funny would it be if the guy who created Shipple token got anyway, I'm not going to finish that sentence. You know where I'm going with it. Jen's awesome show with Cottrell. Yeah. Who's that guy?
I don't know. Let the posters be the token. No. Although I was checking this morning, the lowest cost on the poster?
You asking me? Because I already know. Because you told me that this morning.
65 bucks.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Poster. And those aren't even the good posters. Those are like just the normal posters.
I wonder, like, is there any Londubs on the market?
Probably not.
Oh man, I love those things.
There were only 10, right?
Yeah. No, there was 21, and the mining rate on those was jacked. Probably because they let me set them.
Well, and I mean, if there's 21, I mean, it's only a matter. Yeah, never mind. And Kawimoto, Jen's awesome show with Corey Cottrell, and Jen's awesome show with Kawimoto, and I've seen what Jen has lined up to go on the blog.
Yeah.
There's a lot. She's going to go through the whole team and then some. So definitely tune into these. They're fun. They're interesting. They're super.
Yeah, she's great. She's great. Man, it's swinging around a lot. Like, we're gonna do 1 million wax in volume today on Aether. This is the thing. This is part of the thing I'm thinking about too. Like, the ecosystem on. I was hanging out at this convention. More people knew about our planet there than Alien Worlds, which blew my mind. Which is, yeah, I would never have thought that. Now, granted, like, I think that the Asian markets are probably where a lot of the Alien Worlds people are coming from, right? Just because they went over to Binance, and who knows what they're doing over there, right? But it's fascinating, and it'll be interesting to see how much sort of crossover there ends up being in these spaces. Because like a year from now, there's going to be 100 times more players. This is the thing. I've been thinking about this a lot. So, Jimmy, how much I think about crypto winter and like stacking a bunch of things that we can do, so that when everything else in the crypto space is slowing down, we're still speeding up, or like we won't slow down, right? Which I still think is possible. But I've been thinking about that more and more and more. Like that, even without all of the amazing, fun, crazy shit we've got planned for when and if the crypto market starts to fade, and if that starts to affect our market, and we're still not 100% sure that it even will. Like, I'm assuming that it will. I just think we're just going to keep going. Like there's so many things we can add value wise, and then we just do a big marketing campaign to no coiners. We're good.
I mean, what the biggest problem with crypto, crypto winter is that people fuck up because they keep looking at crashing prices. They keep looking at all this shit. I mean, like it's almost a sellable thing for us. We can be like, hey, we're looking at crypto prices. We can put it on like CTV News. Looking at crypto prices, like, we'll come to the uplift and make, gold shit. No, I totally agree with you. I think like that's the thing. Crypto winter will come again. The skies will fall because Bitcoin's going to be I don't know, even if crypto winter comes today and Bitcoin's a ridiculous $40,000. I mean, that Bitcoin's obviously a scam if it's $40,000 next crypto winter. I mean, but this is what's going to happen, right? And I think the community that's being built here in this project, alongside what Uplift Art is doing, what Legend is planning on doing, these are the communities that will last, right? And we talked about Binance, right? Like Binance is an exchange, and like it's like crazy, but it was one of the few positive places or one of the few positive ecosystems to be involved in the last crypto winter, because they were doing so much cool shit. They were building so much stuff. They were innovating so much, right? It's not the projects that are innovating that are going to kill you during crypto winter. I mean, Chainlink as well. I mean, Chainlink, the whole crypto winter, what were they doing? They were going out there. They were like making connections. They were, running, their stuff. And these are the tokens that have done really well. And these are the projects that have done really well, right? And so I'm not sorry, Tony.
This is Gary. Yeah. I think like doing any of this stuff that like is me focused, just don't. Like it's funny, but it would just make me feel really weird. But no, I love the upliftium element stuff, but our planet just definitely doesn't need a new element called Corionite. That's silly. Now, Jimmy D quartz. I mean, I'd buy that.
Quartz is okay,
right? So yeah, Gary said if we let Corey loose, every map will have its own token. Here's the thing: if we have SafeMoon as an example, which I don't know if you guys have heard, I met the team behind SafeMoon and they're actually legit, right? Everyone's calling them the BitConnect of the thing. Like I actually think they're not, which is really fun. But they obviously caught the world by storm. They're huge on Binance, and we had a chance to chat with them. They only have 1 million people holding their token. So this is a massive number of people, right? And they're looking for a use case. So we were tossing around the idea of maybe booting up a test map, and that might turn into like 50 fucking maps. Who knows, right? There's enough people to fill those things up and have the demand. And of course, we would make their token the economics token for that area, right? Because we're helping them create a use token or a use case for their token. So I can definitely envision, Aether based maps having, Aether as the economics token, right? Why wouldn't we do that? There's no downside to that. It's just changing one line of code. And so, having different sort of economic countries build up is kind of interesting, right? And then because the only thing you'll ever have to do is go to Alpor and hit the swap and do whatever kind of exchange you wanted to do to map things out, right? So I kind of love the iteration of it. So I think we're stronger if we're supporting a richer ecosystem than just demanding that it all has to be with our token, for example.
I'm excited to have this conversation later, because every time M Blue brought it up, in the last 3 years, I told him I was vehemently against it. Although, he told
me when we first started talking about a token, he told me that, and then I showed him this, and he's for it.
Yeah,
I showed Rockwell, who's like scared of. I mean, we pay him as the CEO of our project to be this guy.
Right.
So, and he's very good at it. But he immediately goes into the existential risk problem, which again, you have to do as a pair of companies that are combined like this, that are going to be as big as we're going to be. So yeah.
I mean, that's what I mean. I'm sure I'm not the first person you're having this conversation with. So I'm excited to have this, because you must have something if you're still that sold on it after talking to these people, right?
They are.
Yeah.
It's not me. They're sold and excited.
And the reason, so some of them, the reason that they had to be sold was because of what I had to say. So I'm excited to have this conversation. Sure. That's all I'm saying.
Right. No, and you're right about the things that I'm sure you talk to them about, right?
This is like the worst conversation.
Right, because we're not actually telling them anything. What are you clowns talking about? Yeah, Gary, we definitely need sysadmins. Minecraft sysadmins, guys. Another way you could help us is go find me 10. Yeah, all with redstone lag machines. Yeah, I might just ban redstone machines. Fucking things. I'm just kidding about that, by the way. I can hear everybody who loves redstone machines like crying in the night. Anyway, so yeah, we might end up just iterating smaller maps that handle all this stuff better.
Good luck with Russ on that one the next time you guys have Christmas.
Right? Yeah, watch. He'll just send me coal and call it redstone. Like, you fuck Corey.
Okay, let's go, because I'm having a lot of fun, but you definitely need some downtime before gratitude service.
I guess.
And so we probably have to get through this. So let's move on.
Rock and roll.
Build.
I love that you called it Jen's Awesome Show. She was like, what do I call it? I said Jen's Awesome Show of Awesome. So she shortened it to Jen's Awesome Show. And so Jen is, the uplifting Banksy. She's J-Bar. She's the awesome lady who's been, dropping murals in our space that are just really amazing. Anyway, she's also a journalist has been for a long time. And we actually hired her on full time to do a bunch of different things, but this is one of them. So she's added to her list. She's actually going to be doing some picture installing and stuff as well, which is going to be really good. So she interviewed me. She interviewed the Callie Moda, who is my coordinator for the new community maps, who's crushing it, by the way. Callie's just an awesome dude. I just spent like 45 minutes building the other morning because I had 45 minutes off, and so and I had some like tunes on or whatever, and just kind of zenned out. Nice. So that was fun. Media Moguls, Alan Gorin. I mean, Alan Gorin's a big deal. And I didn't even know how much of a big deal. Like, I knew he was a big deal, but I didn't know how much of he was a big deal. So we're going to have him back on again as quickly as we can. Because just that conversation didn't go anywhere near long enough. Like, that's worth watching, right? Because he's from, kind of old school OG, Ethereum and other projects. Like, he's going to be awesome to have in our ecosystem.
Yeah, he's not a wax guy. He hit me up after. He's like, okay, like, does this look right to you? And I'm like, I think so.
Yeah, he's totally new. He's totally new. Man, there is a pitched battle going on in Aether right now. It's been bouncing between 0.001 and 0.12, like a 20%. But like, I've watched it go back and forth like 3 times now. That's fun. It's crazy stuff going on.
Dr. Yunani, sometime you and I are going to have to get on this channel, and you're going to have to show me the ropes in Discord, because Discord, no offense to anyone out there, but Discord has always annoyed me just because like I'm not good at it and I don't like learning new things.
And so I've been the same way, and clearly so powerful. They've got like 1,000 people there, right? It's growing, almost as fast as the Telegram channel. Yeah, it's something we need to learn. Like, get on the show sometime with me in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and you can do a walkthrough for people, because I think that would be good. That's a good idea. We should go play in Discord for an hour.
Yeah, you can do a walkthrough with people, like how to understand the Discord, because what you did over there with all these channels and the amount of use that it's getting is awesome. So
yeah. So 1350. I think that actually means they're growing a little bit faster than the Telegram channel because they started after. So game on. All right, Jen's Awesome Show with Greg. Jen, of course, Greg is the Waz. If you guys don't know who Greg is, Greg's one of my best friends in the world, and actually booted the server up with me before it actually became the Uplift. And interview with Leora. Leora is like a business outreach / kind of jack of all trades help. She's like a exceptionally overqualified for most of what she's doing with us. But I also think she's going to be connecting us to like whoever was doing the Weezer NFT drop. Like that, she said something about that in the leadership channel. So she's a baller and like helping us with our website. And she's a baller, so she's amazing. And I haven't seen that one yet.
And super nice, yeah. And watch them all. I mean, you guys are no stranger to Greg, so you know what he has to offer.
Yes.
On the show. But Leora has some really cool ideas. She does some really cool things. I watched it actually. She does some really cool things with art. She does some really cool things with kids. So definitely worth checking out. It's things that we believe in on this channel.
That's awesome. And then I threw a couple of these things are actually good to just kind of have in your back pocket. I'm actually gonna play these for you guys. Can you hear that or no?
No.
Okay, I gotta stop the screen. Why am I trying to click on it there? I am a dork. Every time.
I can't believe I forgot. I'm gonna do that now while you do that. Can't believe I forgot to do that.
All right.
Let's go with this one.
Of course it does that. Boom. So that one's fun. And then
again, we covered this last week. There's a little bit of a delay that's going back with the legend drop, but I mean, everything's going to be coming soon.
I thought that was the end, and it wasn't even the end. That's hilarious. So then there's this one. You guys have probably seen this one before, but it's good to have them around. If like people are like, what the fuck is the uplift? You can just send them this kind of stuff.
This one annoyed me actually.
How come?
Because it's a shorter cut of the one that was longer, and I was waiting for more.
I was like, no. Yeah, so there's like a whole 5-minute version of this that I guess it's a whole music video that I'll throw up, I guess.
No, that's great. It's really well done.
All right, yeah. So that's a good note, Jimmy. I can make that happen. Okay, so then
I like this one.
We had freaking Yates from Alien Worlds on. Like, what? That was hardcore.
So we always do this every week. I mean, if you're gonna watch only one show on this channel for the week, it's tough because there's 3 great ones to watch. No offense to anyone else who was on there, but like our first time guest, Alan.
Yeah,
he was awesome. And the insights that Michael Yates brought because of the conversation that you had around like what happened at the conference that you were at, those were like amazing. So go back and watch those 2 if you haven't seen them yet, because Michael's a genius in his own right, you know.
Legit. And well, in our planet, like if you had to watch one, and by one we mean 3, the Our Planet one, the Alan Gorin one, and Yates. I mean, these are just like they're kind of foundational. You kind of have to do it. Now, granted, like I'd also watch all the Jen stuff because I think people are going to end up being fans of hers in a big, huge way. Yeah. And then of course I uploaded the. You did something with what's the pickle, Sean.
Dude, now this was a really fun interview because Sean is hilarious. We went nowhere near where you would expect us to go, and I mean that's why it's called to the edge of obscurity and back in 45 minutes or less. 56 minutes, by the way, which is really good for me.
Is that going to be the name of what you guys do every time?
Yeah, we're gonna do this.
Yes.
Yes.
Like TED Talk on a Tuesday is now one of the shortest ones.
And it's funny because he threw some shade out because that's what he does, and I like it. It's like and then like I said something, and then he actually threw some shade out for Kawimoto. And that was really funny because like he does it in a really good way, right?
And Kawimoto is the biggest sweetheart. He might be competing for Greg for biggest sweetheart in our whole.
Yeah, he might, but just go watch it. But the funny backstory to this is after he threw that shit, Kawimoto, I sent him the information about Sean, and he was a little bit annoyed, but then he came back to me like 4 hours later. He's like, I should have watched that video before I got annoyed because that was freaking hilarious.
That's awesome. And Sean is really good. Like the first time we had Sean on, when I first met him, he just went after Bonds, and like literally, like I wanted to call a paramedic for Bonds. Like it just like, and all the digs were fantastic, but it was like, God damn, this is like watching somebody beat up a baby.
We're gonna do this every week. It's gonna be a combination, probably what's going on with the Crypto Writers channel, what's going on with our channel. I'm assuming you haven't had time to watch it, Corey. So you two, please go back and watch it, because here's the thing. Like it really is to the edge of obscurity and back. We're talking about things that like people aren't talking about on the internet, which I thought was really cool. We were talking about kids, like how to interact with kids in gaming, you know, what it was like to be a kid when we were kids, you know, when your dad rigged up a lawnmower and so that you could sit on it and then it flipped over and the blades were still turning. Like, what do you do? I mean, like, I'm not joking. It's going to be fun. We're turning this into a network. Actually, this is going to be a network. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of uplift stuff. Like what Corey said before, we want more Brad the Builder, but we also want more people with more shows. This is why we're bringing Jen in. This is why Greg is doing those tutorials, right? Like, so,
yep.
So, you know, please promote this. Like, we want to be we want to be the uplift show, like screw Truman, because we know exactly what's going on. Like this is what we want to be, and I'm just excited to have something on this show that is beyond the spectrum of what we normally do. I love what we normally do, but we want to incorporate as many people as we can. So Story of Chicken Cod. This is one I actually haven't seen yet because it just went up today or yesterday. And
do you want to watch it? Time. It's like 5 minutes, but I love it.
Sure, I
do that, and that'll be what plays us out, as it were.
Okay, well, just before we watch it, I like that idea. But before we watch it, let's just do a quick for the
overview.
Overview of what's upcoming, and then you guys can see what's upcoming, and then we can watch that out. And then we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So tomorrow we have Joe C. I can't pronounce his last name.
I can't either. I'm glad it's not just me.
Chippa something. And he's going to come on tomorrow, and he's going to talk about the upcoming NFT release. And he's doing some really cool stuff in conjunction with Uplift Art. And then we're going to go into his land and we're going to build some shit, which is going to be fun.
That is cool.
On Tuesday, we've got Bonds again back for Tech Talk on Tuesday, because as Corey mentioned, they're doing tons of stuff, and we're just essentially going to get it all out of them.
Yeah, we're just trying to keep up.
On Wednesday. Yeah, exactly. Right. And we're trying to keep up. Yeah, we're falling behind, and we have the biggest, degen ecosystem on our team, right?
Yeah. Me falling behind on our planet is unacceptable.
yeah. But like, it's impossible. They've got so much stuff going on, right?
Right.
Wednesday, we've got Darren. If you came to our second roundtable over on the Crypto Writer channel, you'll know Darren. Darren is the London Graffiti's Kings kind of representative. So that's going to be super cool. Thursday, we're going to do another roundtable over on the Crypto Writer channel. We're thinking maybe gaming. I'd like to do one on gaming. I've got a couple regular guests lined up, and we're going to talk about that. And Friday, we've got somebody cool too, but I don't have it in my notes, so maybe I missed it. I know you lined something up and you sent it to me, but I forget. Recurrier with the Metaphor.
Oh, Metaphors. Yeah, Metaphors launch.
Metaphors is launch. Yeah.
He's family. Yeah, we gotta get on that for sure.
So that'll be pretty sweet. Yeah. So next week. And thanks for tuning in. It's funny because like these just keep getting longer and more interesting. This might actually become the staple of our show. The weekend roundup, right?
I just like, it's funny. Like there was a couple weekends where I was like, oh man, we gotta do Sunday too. Are you fucking kidding me? And now it's just like, I gotta talk to Jimmy today. I don't mind it. I like it a lot.
I'm the same way. It's like, and we take Saturday off, which is nice, and we need it.
We try.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like from the show.
From this, and it like that's definitely supposed to be the time that but yesterday I ended up, because my head was so full of like all the ideas that I've been tossing around, and just like when it's time and everything fits into place, I started writing. I'm gonna send you what we have for the tokenomics plan. And it works.
Cool.
And
I like it.
It's going to be all of the best things about our planet and alien worlds and a bunch of other stuff that I really, really like. And it's planned to run for literally thousands of years. Nice. No, I'm not kidding. Like the tokenomics plan is set to run for between 3,000 and 5,000 years.
And how can that be possible? How can something run for more than 100 years? Well, as much shade as we throw them, as much shit as we give them, Block One will run for 100 years.
It might. This is the thing. Like, if it stops, it'll be because we've all beamed into the Matrix and none of the numbers matter anymore.
Yeah, because when you own that much BTC, so I'm excited. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see it. Like, because BTC is no Ether.
Yeah, it's because Ether is actually decentralized. What?
Yeah. So we'll see you guys back tomorrow, 9:00 a.m. Let's rock and roll with the story of Chicken Con.
Oh yeah, I was like getting ready on the button. I thought you were gonna do the thing. Anyway, this works better if you can hear stuff. Come on now.
I live in Japan, but I hate karaoke. Karaoke. And the worst part about it is whenever I go to karaoke, I just like ignore the words on the screen and make up songs. And it's...
I would pay to see that. All right, so this is now. Hey, can you guys hear this?
Yep, got it. You're good.
Yeah, it's like you might just have to go check this one out yourself. Sorry, guys. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, we don't have a famous chop coming. Exactly. Hold on, I'm gonna throw this in the comments here so you guys can have this. Go watch that. It's really good. I don't know why YouTube's being a jerk. I don't want to wait for it.
Yeah, you can throw it in the comments, or they can just go to our channel. And while you're over there, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not YouTubers unless we're saying subscribe and hit the bell, right? Like that's like a rite of passage, as it were.
I know. I mean, like I don't know where this is going, but I really hope in a year we don't have some fist punching a screen that says, subscribe to our YouTube, because that shit happens and we're way better than that.